I watched Capone yesterday and have a few things to say. In case you didn't watch the cigar-chomping trailer, Capone doesn't focus on the gangster's life as a criminal. Instead, it takes place during the last year of his life, now released from prison and living with family in Florida while dealing with dementia brought on by neurosyphilis. Yes, not putting his meat in a Ziploc bag, nor treating the resultant, mold rotted his brain. An unusual premise, but if you're going to convince us that this part of his life is worth telling, then you have to bring your A game. So, did it? Nope! Let's focus on Tom Hardy first, which is really the reason anyone is seeing this. The thing with Hardy is that his strengths lie in mannerisms. He can express a lot with very little. Obviously, there are exceptions to this, but it becomes a recurring issue in Capone. No dialogue? I was watching a character. Long speeches? I was watching a performance. And frankly, not a very convincing one.
Walking around.
Chris Stuckman compared his voice to a combination of Nick Nolte and a Batman villain, and that's pretty apt. It reminded me, strangely, of Charlie Kelly from Always Sunny when he tries to do any accent.
Okay, Mr. Mayor. Feast your ears on that Spin Doctor's mix.
Always over the top, the intense concentration on his face. It's kind of laughable. The biggest issue by far is the story. Nothing is moving, and there are so many scenes where, after they finished, I sat there thinking, okay, but what was the point of that? That shootout you see in the trailer? Yeah, they ruined that. The clumsiest misstep in this drunk potato sack race of a plot is that the film can't decide whether it's from Capone's point of view or if it's omniscient. The film introduces a supporting character, and it is rapidly and painfully obvious that he is a figment of Capone's imagination. And then, as if realizing this, the film flat out shows he isn't real about 30 minutes later, in the most matter-of-fact way. It made me think, 1, why did you introduce an imaginary character in a scene where Capone wasn't present? Seriously, that makes no sense. And 2, again, what is the point? They try to add some weight to it later, and it's so lazily done. There are some positives. As I mentioned, when Hardy isn't saying much, when he is left to portray that haze of dementia, it works. He truly appears lost. Linda Cardellini gives a good performance, there's a fun scene featuring the Wizard of Oz, and a great exchange wherein Capone mistakes his wife for someone else. Director Josh Trank got his big break with Chronicle, a simple and cool modern take on superpowers. And through this, he was bestowed way too much responsibility for the Fantastic Four, and it bombed. Is it the worst superhero film ever? I don't know. It wasn't as cringy as Suicide Squad, poorly edited as Catwoman, or insultingly cliche as Justice League, but it may be the most boring movie of the genre. My biggest worry watching Capone is that it would also be dull. However, when I was watching this, out of curiosity, I checked to see how much time I had left, and to my shock, I was already halfway done. So no, the film doesn't feel slow, but at the same time, there is zero sense of accomplishment. The story is aimless, the presentation is bland, and some of the editing is awful. If I can give you a succinct reason not to rent this one, when this film was ending, I had that horrible tumbling sensation in my stomach. You know the one, where you go, oh no. No, don't end like this. You gotta be kidding me. Give me one more scene that actually means something. Please, don't do it. Don't do it. God damn it, Josh Trank. You know, I was merely tolerating this movie for most of it, but when the ending is this underwhelming, I kinda hate it. Honestly, just recording this now, I'm getting more mad just thinking about it. What a stupid, meandering, vacuous, purposeless movie this was. A waste of time. The only bright spot for me is that this was an Amazon movie and not a theater one, because now I only regret spending $10 instead of $20. Skip it.